Baby, I'm on the road. Baby, leave me alone. Baby, don't hit my phone. Cause you don't wanna know what I do on my own now. Yeah,
We live on Subtle Impact TV, man. This is episode 15. We got a new guest, very special guest, part of the 4MYENT Entertainment Collective. We got my man Big HERCO in the building. You know what I mean? Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you. Thank you for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We love all new guests. We love all new guests, especially when it's, a part of the home brand. But how you feeling, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm blessed, man. Just happy to be working right now, with the whole situation with COVID and everything. So
Amen.
I'm blessed, man. I'm good. Still working.
That's a fact. Speaking of that, good point. Very crazy times we live in, very unpredictable, who knows, uncertain. So that's very a good point. Uncertain. Yeah. Now, if you are listening and you might not be someone who is employed still or just going through a rough time, just know, better days are to come. Just keep staying,
yes,
faithful to whoever you believe in.
Up.
Yep. And, it's going to work out. Just keep grinding.
Yes,
but
sir.
Before we get into it, you guys already know, definitely check us out. Tell a friend to tell a friend is my motto. Like, comment, and subscribe. Of course, if you aren't, get those notifications up so you know when we drop. And let's get it, man. Let's get into this.
Let's get it.
Yeah, let's get into this conversation. So, Herc is one of the artists, a part of the 4MYENT Entertainment Collective, and as anyone who follows, Subtle Impact, we've done all artist profiles on the artists that are in the 4MYENT Entertainment brand. So you are just another addition to that. And Herc is a bit special where, you do multiple different things aside from just being an artist, the producing and the engineering. And, we'll get more into that exactly. But give us a little bit of your background, how, your come up.
All right, man. So music has been a part of my life just from the jump, man.
Right.
So I started off playing sax in like the 3rd grade. So from sax, it went from that to going to band practice every day and the beating on the drums and just the developing my love for music, man. And I actually took a music technology course as an elective in college. Introduced me to Pro Tools. And once I got onto that, it was a round point on, man. Started making my own beats. Started teaching myself how to engineer a little bit, and then it just expanded from there.
That's
Ended
awesome,
up going to school for it.
I was literally just talking to somebody yesterday about the saxophone. Like, to me, that's like one of the sexiest instruments. Like, if I feel like if you could just play
man,
that,
I got that right next to me.
Yeah, man. Like, if you know how to play the sax, like,
native.
Yeah, like it's gonna take your whole aura to another level if you can play the saxophone. So
it's going to expand that aura, make it bright and strong.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a very, very dope instrument. So I was just telling somebody about that. I like the piano as well, but the saxophone to me is definitely one. If I could go back, or if later in life, if I wanted to sit down and learn how to play an instrument, I would definitely choose the saxophone. Is it difficult to play, you would say, or?
Difficult? I wouldn't say difficult, man. If you don't have hand-eye coordination, I say yeah. But if you got that down, I say to get the basics down, maybe 6 months.
Yeah,
around that time frame. It's not hard to pick up.
Yeah, that's not bad. That I used to take piano lessons as a kid, and I liked it.
Whole other animal.
Yeah, right. Each
animal.
instrument, every instrument is different, and it's like I liked it, but I don't know. I felt like, I don't know, the saxophone to me, that is just, it's another element. And I think like sonically the sax is so like distinct. Like, when you hear the sax,
when you hear sax, it's a sax.
Yeah, it's just
it has that effect on you.
For sure. But so in high school, we went to the same high school, so you were part of the band. Was that something for you, like at the time you just kind of just did it just because, like an extracurricular, keep yourself busy, or you just you wanted to, you was actually focused on the music at that time too, just being a part of it?
Yeah. So Nah, it wasn't anything I just picked up in high school, man. I've been playing sax almost my whole life. I like the third grade, I think I said. I I picked it up when I was in third grade, so that at that time it was me just picking it up to see if I could do it, if I liked it or not.
Right.
And I've always had like an ear for music, so whenever I started playing, it hit with me. So I learned it, I practiced it. My parents didn't think I would practice; they would think I was just fingering notes, like
Right.
faking like I was playing or something.
Right.
But they realized that one day when they actually heard me play by myself, like a solo,
Right.
like, yeah, he's actually practicing. I don't know when he's practicing, but he's actually doing it. So it's early in elementary school, either third or fourth grade, I think.
Yeah, I remember you even when you like speaking of you having like a ear for music, I remember you would like either, make beats on the table sometimes, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Or,
I was
you know,
that guy.
yeah, you were that dude, like, take whatever pens and pencils you might have, or even with the hands, even just making a
Right, just
cool
straight
sound.
knuckles on the lunch table.
Exactly. And I always knew
Yeah.
that about you. And that was always cool because, it's just that you like when certain people just have that ear or just have that, that the right mind for music, like it kind of gravitates towards them, or it's kind of just always around them. So that was always cool.
Always.
And then even at our school, our band wasn't that big. Some people might have really big bands. So like that, you being in the band at a smaller school, it typically means like you are like already
Yeah,
kind of
you gotta
committed
have
to
some kind of enjoyment to it.
right. You
Yeah, cause
gotta
we was trash. I
hey
can't
man,
even lie, bro. We
you
was
got
ass.
you gotta make it the best, you know what I mean? You gotta make
Yeah,
it
for
what it
sure.
is,
It's
so
definitely a fun experience though, but not being in a good band can be kind of boring sometimes. But
right.
it's a fun experience. Like you meet a lot of cool people.
Oh yeah, for sure. Do you ever like think about like the HBCU bands, and like would that have been something you would have done like if you really wanted to, get the experience of a
See,
real
a real band, like,
yeah.
yeah, I thought about it, but then when I came to the realization of like how driven those dudes are in like
Right.
historically black colleges,
Right.
like those dudes, they're a whole other animal. I
It's
wasn't
all
that committed to sex.
got you.
Yeah,
Got you.
yeah. So they're drilling them, man. Like they gotta wake up 6 a.m., 5 a.m., go
Yeah,
out to
it's like
band
boot
practice.
camp. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. It's like they playing football, man. They running around the track, running up the stairs with their instrument. I'm like, man, I'm not, I'm not
That's
trying
true.
to do all that.
Drumline wasn't lying, I guess.
Not at all, bro. It's pretty accurate. Some of that's Hollywood, but it's pretty accurate when it comes to like
Right.
the intensity of the actual band itself.
That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah, man.
I'm not
I
surprised
thought
though that
about it though.
yeah, I mean, cause like I would say like if I had any sort of musical drive in terms of like instruments, I should say,
Hmm.
I would, and if I could play, I would be curious because like HBCU bands, I mean, like I said, that's just like a culture thing. Like,
Yeah,
it's just a different experience, and it's like
it's a
it
whole
is fun.
experience,
But
man.
like you said, you do got to check yourself and ask, like, do I really want
Yes.
to like commit to that? Because
And that's why they do it like that. They want to make sure that you're committed. Because when you just join it because you've been playing an instrument your whole life,
right,
somebody
it's
like
different.
me, you drop it out. Because once you run that first mile with a saxophone in your hand, it's like, all right, bro, I'm not really trying to do this like that.
I
I'm gonna
don't
go
like
ahead.
this damn instrument that much. Like,
Right, exactly. That was me, unfortunately, but
that's
I
funny.
can admit that.
Nah, but that's cool, man. It's levels to certain shit, but that's fine because it
Definitely.
all worked out for you in your own way. So,
Yes, sir.
what would you say about like the roots that you have? Like, how does that tie into your passion for music? And when I say roots, I mean like, where you're from, like where your parents may be from, where you grew
Yeah.
up. Like, how does that tie into the drive you have for the music?
So, man, it's tied deep, man. It really is. Like it goes back to my great grandparents on both sides.
Okay.
But really, more accurately, that I have knowledge of, my grandma has always been big on music, man. On my mother's side, like whenever we go to their house, there's always music playing. They cook with music playing. They clean
Right.
with music playing. You wake up in the morning, they got music playing. It's always around us. My mom, when she was younger, she was considered a poet. I guess she would have her own little poetry book that she would write
Okay.
everything down in. My dad played trumpet, and also my dad is from Trinidad and Tobago, which is
Got you.
crazy
Yes.
music scene. If you know about anything about Trinidad,
Yes,
soca,
sir. Yeah.
huge, man.
One of my
So,
boys from work is from Trinidad.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he talk about soca if you don't blast it at work every day, man.
Back when we was in the
So
office.
that's just in the blood. It really goes back a way back.
Yeah, nah, the culture down there in the islands is so strong, you know what I mean? And
there's a heavy music influence. Music is huge in the Caribbean, man. It's
right.
like, it's in their blood. It really is.
Right. And so you feel like some of that is just it's in your genes, like it's genetic.
I really do.
Yeah. But that's dope, man. Like I've always said, because Irie is from, he's Jamaican, so his mom is from Jamaica, and I think that the island, like, because I was watching Busta Rhymes, I was watching an interview with him, and he's Jamaican. Yeah, and he was like, hip hop really like originated from
in Jamaica.
Yeah, and it's just like when you really do your research, like that's when you find out the origin of shit, because our age, like you could easily get a lot of misinformation, or you could easily just not know certain shit because
completely ignorant to it.
Exactly. Like our parents probably, I feel like they were the last of the originate, like coming from the authentic music, and like the growing up in New York. Like my mom grew up in New York with fucking Kid and Play, and like she was saying how like they would have parties on the block, block parties, and they would have
house
parties at the park.
Man, yeah, block parties, all that. We don't know about that stuff, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. We don't even know about that, and that's why the origin of it is so important, because it's like you got to know like where all this stuff started to know like where we're at now with it, and that's why a lot of people's music now is very just it's oversaturated, it's diluted.
There's no soul in it anymore, man.
There's no anything, you know what I mean? There's no content, there's no substance, there's no anything, and because a lot of the kids that like younger, our age or younger, they don't even, I don't feel that most of them go out their way to seek that information, where hip hop was originated, like who the idols were, like the people that you look up to, who did they look up to? Like that's important to know. So, but
that's a lost trait, man. Like people only care about what's happening right now, everything, whoever's hot at the moment. Like, there's no passion behind it. As long as you got something that somebody else likes, you're gonna be all right now. It wasn't like that back in the 90s and before.
Facts.
This is like a whole different age right now, man.
And there's no grind.
Like it.
For real. For real.
You mess up once, like the whole cancer culture type of thing. You mess up once and that's it.
That shit is crazy. That shit is wild. Because you would have been canceled, like, or canceled, quote unquote, anybody back, from back in the day, because nobody's gonna do everything the way you want them to do it,
Exactly.
So I definitely think that it's important about the origin, but that's dope that your dad is from Trinidad, because I just think that keeps you so connected, to the soul of
just
it all.
Different cultures,
right?
Yeah, for sure, man. And that keeps me. It lets me know where I come from, and I feel like it keeps me in check, just because I feel like I have to respect that. At least that part of me, you feel me?
Yes.
Because there's a rich musical background from that island. Like I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, but the steel pan that comes from Trinidad and Tobago, man. Like, that iconic sound. People think that's like a Jamaican instrument, but that comes from Trinidad, man. And that sound is what really shaped the sound of soca. Soca is like the main instrument. I mean, the main music in Trinidad. You said what?
No, I was gonna continue to let you go. I just was gonna say, how did you feel about like a lot of American artists, or even any artist really? It's not even just American, kind of taking that sound. Like a lot of people are running with the sound that the islands provide, and they making it, and they're taking it and making it in their own. And
it's the cool thing to do right now.
It's the cool thing to do, and it's cool because in a way it's showing, it's paying respect, it's kind of showing homage, but in a way it isn't, because if you don't big up the people that you got the sound from, then you really just stealing it.
For sure.
So I feel like that to me, because I know Drake is infamous for that, you know what I mean? And you know, he
Yeah,
makes
Drake is
good.
definitely infamous for that.
I mean, it sounds good, don't get me wrong, you know, but like I said, I've seen, you know, you've heard it from others as well. It's like, you know, it's the cool thing to do. So I definitely think I would like to do a little more research on the soca, like the just all of it, the instruments and the way they make the music. I think that's the
Yeah.
most beautiful thing about the music made, and I just think the creation process is so much
It's
better.
a beautiful thing to be a part of. It
Yeah,
really
it's so
is.
much
I've
better
been
than
lucky enough.
here, and you can hear that shit in the music too.
You can. There's a physical difference in that music just because they put more into it.
Yeah,
Like they're
and
using physical instruments. They're playing that stuff in and recording it. They're not using samples or loops. They're not
right,
asking their man, oh, send me this loop pack, bro. Like, nah, they're bringing all the dudes in there. They're all having a good time, probably rolling up or something.
right.
And they're all playing stuff in and having a good experience together. And that makes for a better song, in my opinion, to be honest.
No, for sure. I definitely agree with you. Have you been back to Trinidad, or have you ever
I've
been?
been to Trinidad. I think I've been once. I was young. I didn't
Really
remember it, man.
young. Yeah. But that's
Yeah, I
probably
was
gonna be better when
super
you go
young.
back like now as you're older. Like, so now you can just take it all in. And
Yeah, they probably call me a Yankee, man.
probably that, you know, that's the worst. You know,
Yeah,
it's
like
like,
you
man,
American.
yeah, because it's like I'm still connected, man. Trust me. I haven't completely, you know, sold myself.
Yeah.
But okay, so
No, there you go.
a little bit more about you
Uh-huh.
specifically. So, you know, would you consider yourself an artist? Would you consider yourself a producer, or would you consider yourself an engineer? Like, or all three? It could be, you know, whatever. But how would you break down, like, you know, if you had to put on, you know, a bio? How would it explain who you are and what you do?
Yeah, I definitely consider myself all three. I would say I'm more of an engineer than anything else, but
That's good.
I have the ability to do all three easily, to be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
Um, I would say I'm leaning more towards engineer just because that's what I do all day, every day. Like I
Right.
wake up, I'm opening my laptop, I'm immediately going into a mix that I was trying to finish last night. Then I'm going to work, engineering all day,
Right.
like 7, 8 hours a day, coming back home, engineering again. So I'm mostly doing that in my free time. I try to make as many beats as I can. Shout out to Zay Yama and Ari Buchanan. You know, they
Yes,
all
sir.
asking me for beats right now.
Yes,
But
sir.
I'm a busy dude at the moment. But I'm trying to get those to him at the moment.
I'm trying.
Yeah, trying my best, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been writing my whole life. I started
Yeah.
writing poetry in like third grade. Also, at the same time, I started playing sax.
Okay.
So
Third
writing has
grade was a
been,
big year for you.
yeah, no bull, bro.
Yeah.
Third grade was a big year, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, writing has always been something I like to do just to get some stress off my chest. You feel me?
Right.
And it's always been a coping mechanism. And I fell off from writing for a long time. I'd say in middle school all the way through high school, I didn't write anything. And my freshman year of college, I started picking up the pen, picking up my phone, going on my notes,
Mm-hmm.
typing stuff in, writing stuff down again. And
Yeah.
I got a chance to fall back in love with it. So that helped me deal with some stuff, you know, just
For
going
sure.
through life. Yeah,
Man, writing your thoughts out. Like I tell people this all the time. Talking to yourself, writing your thoughts out, whatever. All of that is a form of therapy, in my opinion, and it's definitely helpful. You know, you got to get.
for sure.
You can't just keep it all within and bottle all of that type of shit up.
Nah, it's not
You gotta
healthy.
get it out. Yeah. So
Definitely got to do something to get that out, man.
and I definitely understand the writing aspect because I like to write as well. And you definitely go through moments where you stop, you know, it's like you just don't
Yeah.
do it. Like that's why when
Yep.
you say you stop for a year, it's like it just happens. Like it's not even more so a thing. It's just like sometimes I feel like when not a lot is going on with me, like personally, maybe I might not be dealing with anything in particular. I feel like I have nothing to write about. But
Yeah.
you know, so I feel like usually when I'm going through something, it makes it so much easier, which is why artists typically their music is the best when they're going through a heartbreak,
right,
you know, or, you know, personal shit like, you know, baby mama drama, or, you
right,
know,
or
whatever, you know,
dealing with the law or something like
the
that.
law,
Definitely.
exactly, going to jail,
Yeah.
people dying close to you, like, yeah, like things
Right.
like that. But like when that type of stuff may not be happening or whatever the case may be, if I do find it like you get the writer's block and you just kind of like step away and you're just like, I can't, I don't feel like I have anything. So that's how that's how I felt.
Wait.
Repeat that, my fault, it lagged.
Yeah, I lag too. I think I'm back in now.
No, yeah, you're good.
All right, but yeah, just like you said, taking that break sometimes is necessary, because when you
Right.
don't have anything to write about, it can be forced. And when you write something that's forced, you can definitely feel that in the songs. Like, you feel like it's not really you. You feel like you're pushing something out just because you need to write, because that's your
Right.
occupation. But I say, like Isaiah Rashad, he takes forever to write, and I'm still waiting for his album to drop. It's one of my favorite
Still
artists.
waiting.
Still
I
waiting for
hope
the
you
album,
see
bro.
this freaking episode, yo.
Yeah,
Like,
please, I hope you see this episode, bro. We gotta
drop
tag
the
me.
album. Give us. I know
Please, bro.
he gave us the single, you know, during this
Yeah.
quarantine, but bro, please. But I get it, you know, and that's what, like, to your point, like, now that we got on this topic, it is like with Bryson, even like Bryson was one
Yeah,
of,
with
like,
Bryson
not
too.
was, but he's one of my favorite artists, and I understand those breaks. Like, you going through like you have to live in order to
You gotta
write
experience.
and produce. Yeah, you
Yes.
like, you can't just wake up every day doing your normal shit and then you just always feel like you can just tweak it and you know, write things about it. It's
Yep.
like, come on, you're forcing it, like you were saying. So it's like,
Yep.
those dudes who actually go and live and experience, then come back and give us music, it's almost always great. And even if we don't find the project the best ever, we still feel like they took that time to, you know, actually construct
To go through it. Yeah,
yeah,
and
exactly,
it always has that real feeling to it. Like, no
exactly,
disrespect to any artist that you know, throwing out mixtapes and albums every other
right,
week.
right.
But there's a difference, you know. You can feel the difference in the music, man. And I'm not trying to call nobody out or nothing like that, but still, like, I feel like the people who take their time to live their life and go through something and experience stuff, like, they have more quality music than the opposite artist. You feel me?
Nah, yeah, I
There's a difference.
definitely agree. So what would you say in terms, I had another artist, producer, engineer on here before, Ray. Shout out to Ray. Appreciate you coming on the
So,
show.
Ray, I'm right.
And you know, he in a similar position as you could do all three, but I was asking him because I wanted him to kind of shed light on the difference between engineers and producers, and you know, even art, because I don't think a lot of people know, like, your surface level fans aren't necessarily, or yeah, they're not necessarily aware of what the engineer does and then what the producer might do. And you know, you have executive producers who may not even be super hands-on, but they can still get that executive producer credit. So you know, if you could just kind of shed light on it as well, to hear your perspective on, you know, what those differences are.
Yeah. So, engineering, I try to describe it in the simplest way when other people ask me this question. So what I do as a mix engineer is I'm just making your song sound as good as I can. Like,
Right.
I'm making the quality of the vocal sound good. I'm making the instrumental behind it. I'm making that clear. I'm giving it space. I'm making sure that everything is equal and is balanced, and it sounds good sonically in your ear.
Right.
There's two more types of engineers. There's a record engineer and there's a mastering engineer.
Okay.
So recording is exactly that. They're recording your vocals. They send it to the mix engineer. Boom. That mix engineer mixes it, makes it sound good. The mastering engineer, they bring your levels up without losing that quality of the mix. And they make it sound loud so it bumps in the car type thing. So
okay.
I'm not a mastering engineer, but I can throw like a limiter on the master track and turn it up. That's what you got to do for the most part until it gets to the engineer. And yeah, those are the three types of engineering. Production, producers, like actual producers like Quincy Jones and
Right.
Babyface.
Right.
They have this I guess this tick kind of. When a beat maker calls itself a producer, they kind of get angry at that because that's not really what the the word producer means.
I
Beat maker,
agree.
somebody who's on FL making beats. Yeah, like they're making beats. They're using whatever loops they got. They're playing stuff in. You know, they're making beats. A producer is somebody who is bringing in orchestras. You know, they're coordinating everything.
Yeah.
They're bringing in sax players. They're bringing in violins. They're bringing in other vocalists to add stuff vocally to the beat.
Right.
You know, they're orchestrating the entire sound of the beat, and they're creating like a whole sound. You feel me? And they'll do that for the entire album. So that's the main difference between, for me at least, for a producer and a beat maker.
I think that was a great breakdown.
Yeah, I try to go through that as much as I can, because people ask me that question all the time.
Yeah, because you don't have, like I said, you have avid, or not even avid, but you have just very surface level listeners. They hear good music, or sonically it sounds good, and it's like, I like that. And you know, they might not take the time to learn the ins and outs of the actual music itself, because what you're hearing, there's so many other elements that go into it just for, you know, it to come back to you through your phone for you to hear it. So it's like, that's why it's important to kind of understand the difference between engineers and producers. And I like the producer and beat maker difference, because there is a very vast difference between that, because you have people like Diddy, right, who might like grab
somebody else who's a producer.
Right, exactly. He's gonna grab so many different people who he feels like can contribute to the song and add this and that, and like, that's a producer when you're like organizing.
They're adding so many different elements. They're bringing all those people in, and they're constructing the sound of either that album or that song. Exactly. That's what a producer does.
Exactly. And I think that a lot of people don't know that. So that's a very good point that you touched on. But would that would segue actually into my other question for you about producing or beat making as well. Who are the people that you look up to in terms of producing and beat making?
Man, Timberland.
Oh, Pharrell, Timberland. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh my freaking
Neptunes, Pharrell.
Oh my gosh.
Dre is also in my top 5 when it comes to production.
Okay, for sure. For sure.
Noah 40 should be when it comes to production and engineering.
Yeah, his samples are crazy.
Ridiculous. Damn. Also, I'm a big fan of J. Cole and Travis Scott as like artist producers. They're two of my favorite artist producers, like who are doing both.
Would you say Kanye?
Oh yeah, I don't know how I forgot Kanye, man. Kanye is definitely probably the best artist.
The best artist producer. Yeah, nah, he is.
It's ridiculous. His production ridiculous.
Yeah.
One of the best samplers.
No, go nah.
All time.
That
made the genius musically.
Musically, bro, it is different. Like I mean, the shit that you've heard, like Devil in a New Dress. I mean, it's just just some of the things he's put together. It's crazy.
His whole discography is ridiculous.
Yeah, beat wise, just
production wise.
Yeah, I was just about to say production wise, like it's out of this world. Like I don't really know whose production in terms of like artist producer. Like I don't know who else is really on that level. I do agree with the Travis. But when we talk about Travis, like he's such a different type of artist, you know, like Kanye is like a rapper, you know what I mean? I would say, you know, Travis is a rapper too, but a much more modern version of,
he's more of a melodic type of dude.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So, with that being said, do you have a favorite type of artist in terms of like when you're going to the studio and engineering, or if you're making a beat for an artist, like is there a certain type of artist that kind of caters more to your style and what in your skill set, or you know, how does that work for you?
I feel like maybe more definitely a rap artist.
Right.
I have all types of genres coming into the studio most of the time, but I'm definitely more groomed to producing and engineering for rap vocals and producing for rap songs. But I feel like I can really do any genre or any type of artist for the most part. Right. I just need some time to learn you as an artist, discuss with you what you want to do as a sound, and then we can go from there, man. Whatever you want to try to do, I can do whatever, man.
That's dope.
That's one of the things I try to keep myself on, like just making different sounds and producing for everyone that I can. And whatever I like to make, I try to make that.
I was going to say, I think in terms of, you know, the producing, even engineering, like, I think with y'all, it's very imperative to just always work. Like, the more you
Yes.
do, like, I feel like
The
that
better
just,
you get.
yeah, and it works better for y'all because, you know, it's word of mouth at that point, you know, like, you know, damn, that sounds good. Who did that? And then, you know,
Right.
so, and the more you do that, because, you know, there's so many artists now too. So it's
So
like,
many.
yeah,
Everybody wants to rap now.
everybody, man. So it's
For
like,
real.
it's definitely, but I was telling Aaron this, but I feel like you can definitely, I don't know. I feel like if I'm in the music industry, I think you get more, depending on what type of person you are, I think you get more out of producing and the engineering side of things. I don't know. That's just me. Like, I like that, but I think being an artist is special. It takes, like, you know, it's like a special type of person in terms of
for sure.
put your face in to the forefront, and this is who I am, and these are the lyrics that I'm behind, and, you know,
Yep.
things like that.
Putting
You
your
have to,
life out there in your
yeah, but
that
you
takes
can,
a lot.
it does. And I think for me, like, I guess maybe it caters more to my just personality, maybe be more behind the scene. That's why I say I like but I actually think, like, now where the industry's going, it's geared more towards producers getting their, you know, getting what they're deserved, and they get a lot more acclaim, and, you know,
Producers are getting a lot of clout right now, and that's
for real,
a scary thing, but a good thing at the same time.
right. What makes it scary, you think?
You know, people are clout chasers right now, and clout, like they say, is a hell of a drug, man. So people are doing stuff for the wrong reasons when it comes to production. Like, there's a lot of
True.
ghost producers, which I didn't know existed
What's
until
that?
like last year. Exactly. So they're paying other producers to make a beat, but they're putting their name on the beat. Same thing as a ghostwriter, but
Oh,
just for beats.
wow.
And
That's
yeah, that's just not
disgusting.
it, bro.
That's disgusting.
It's terrible, bro.
So, you know what? This is a
Chasing
good,
clout, not even getting money off of it.
this is a good conversation though. What would you, so do you look at the ghost producer in the same light as you would look at a ghost writer for a rapper? Like, do you, that rapper, do you look at him?
See, I'm gonna say no to that question because the rapper who has a ghostwriter still has to perform that song
Right,
on the mic. They have to
exactly.
put their own emphasis on it.
Right.
A ghost producer,
That's true.
that person's making the beat, giving it to the producer who's putting his name on it, and then he's not doing anything but
You're right.
making like 20% of the sale off of that beat. And his name used to be on it, so people are hearing his name on the tag, and he's getting more people to come in off of that.
That's so
Yeah.
wild.
He's literally not doing anything but slapping the tag on it.
That's really
It's
crazy.
terrible, bro.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't really respect that at all.
Yeah,
Just
I couldn't respect
being
that.
a producer myself, or a beat maker, excuse me.
Nah, I couldn't respect that either, because that takes all the integrity out of it, and it's just So was it difficult to finally get into a studio? Because, you know, I know, like, you started at the crib, you know.
Yep.
And that's
at the crib. It was difficult to find a studio, man, because they're not really openings like that. And luckily, I've been blessed with a good family,
right?
And my mom actually sent me an ad for an opening that I missed on Indeed, and I applied for that immediately, and they got a call back. And by the grace of God, like during COVID, like the beginning of COVID, like March, I believe. I got a phone call for them, and I've been there since March.
So how does it work exactly? Like, you go in and you have certain hours in the studio, or do you go in based off of artists, or like how?
So there's a schedule. You go in, talk to the studio manager. He'll put you down on the schedule.
Right.
They'll call me to see if I'm available for that time. I'll confirm that time, and then whatever the time is specifically, I'll come in on that day, and I'll hook you up. You know, I'll record you and mix your song for you.
Wow, that's great. So has it been busy, like, even with COVID going on since?
Yeah. So like the first maybe 2 months were really slow.
Right.
After everyone got used to it and decided, okay, I'm going to risk it now.
Right.
Everyone starts flooding back in. Yeah, bro.
That's literally what it's been.
Flooding.
It's like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna just, you know, roll the dice on this one.
Forget it, bro.
But that's dope, man. You know, all it takes is a little opportunity, man, and it you gotta start somewhere, and you know
Gotta start somewhere.
you went to school for it too. I think that's dope.
Yeah, I went to Sheffield, the Recording Institute, Sheffield in Phoenix, Maryland. It's a little bit past Towson. So yeah, I went there for a year. I got my certificate in audio engineering,
That's
and
dope.
yeah, super cool experience. I met some really knowledgeable dudes up there that I still have contact with. But
Yeah,
uh-huh.
I thought that was really dope when you originally were talking about it. I never even knew. I don't really know of anyone who's gone to, you know, school for that. So I thought that was like a
Yeah,
really dope thing to
I
see
appreciate
through.
that.
Yeah, man, that was cool. And it's just, you know, you gotta respect the people who just take their profession serious. And I think that's
Most
definitely
definitely.
you know, a good indictment on like taking your profession serious.
For sure. I wanted to make sure I did it the right way, man. And I got that out the way, and now I'm the head engineer at a studio.
Yeah,
23
man.
years old, man. That's pretty cool if you ask me.
Yeah, nah, man, that's big. That's what I'm saying. You know, you put in the work and you got to see it pay off. And
Yes,
speaking
sir.
of paying off, you know, 4MYENT Entertainment, you know, so, you know, that whole collective, you know, Aaron and I, you know, I remember even bringing Aaron to your house the first time.
The
And
first time. Won't
yeah,
forget that one, bro.
yeah, man, that's so crazy. And I was, you know, me and Aaron were trying to build this brand, and we are just thinking, and, you know, we finally just started putting things together. And then, you know, he told me once he wanted to take the music serious, I was like, oh, you know, I went to school with somebody who I know makes beats, and he's on the
Yeah.
same path as you. Like at the time
Just
you
trying to
were,
figure shit out.
yeah, just, you know, like finally like being like, all right, I'm really like committing to this. I'm out of, you know, I'm in like in between. It's that time where it's like some people are in college, some people are
Mm-hmm.
doing their thing, you know, you just figuring it out, like you said. So
Yep.
I knew y'all was pretty much on the same page with that. So I was like, this would be perfect. And then, you know,
Definitely.
I felt like that would embrace, you know, not even embrace, but enhance the 4MYENT Entertainment brand. So, you know, how do you try and incorporate, you know, your skills within the brand so that, you know, people know, you know, what you have to bring to the table, but, you know, all while you still are shedding light on the brand. So it's like, my main question is really just
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel like you kind of fit with the brand in terms of your skill set? Like, what does that bring to the table, and you know, how are you basically marketing it?
Well, I feel like it's a perfect fit for me, man.
Right,
Like you said, when you brought Aaron over here the first time, I felt like we connected just because
right. You did
we were
say
both
that.
so raw, bro. Like we didn't know what we were doing, but we know that we
We want.
wanted to do this.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
we both had that same hunger, that same willingness to make something that may have not sounded that good as we thought back then, but we all kept doing it, you know, it kept building on it and
Stay
kept
with
getting
it.
better each time we did it. So
Yeah.
every time he came over here to record, we got better every single time. He was coming over here like every other day pretty much.
Nah, man, that shit was dope. One of my favorite, and I was telling him this, that like I really enjoy it because I heard some of the shit on his new project, and you know, I heard something with you on it, and it's like I was telling him like Pages is one of my favorite songs off the first
Wow.
off everything. I like it because
I
I think,
appreciate that.
yeah, you on like you give certain songs that melodic sound like you that you just kind of need, you know, just it helps, it enhances it, just having that sound sometimes, you know, because like
Yeah,
I
thank
think
you.
that's what I give Kid Cudi a lot of credit for sometimes too. Sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, a simple moan or a hum, like it could really just take it to another level. Like this,
Yeah.
and so I like that. And you know, I was telling him about that, but yeah, no, I remember you were saying like y'all connected, and I also remember like when I was there, like do you? Because I want to say like maybe the first two times I want to say I went, but I remember like y'all were on the same page about things, and even like you said, even though maybe at the time like you thought it might have been is, you know, something, but looking back on it, you like, we
Yeah.
no, that shit could have been so much better. Y'all still was on like the same page, like you were connecting.
For
So
sure.
it's good to see it come through, you know. And I'm just, you know, like I was my main goal for, you know, the brand this year is to you know, I feel like right now what we've been doing is building the groundwork, you know, making sure
Yeah.
everybody's getting their
Laying
content
down the
together.
foundation.
Yeah, building that foundation, and now it's
Yep.
time for expansion. You know, we can expand going into 2021, like because
Most
we
definitely.
have the content to provide now. Before it was like you got to build something, we got to get some tangible things. So we got that. Well, website's pretty much done. We got people working on their own, their own niches. So now we can expand, and I think it's going to be great. But I'm happy
Yeah,
that
man, it's exciting just to think about.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the thing.
Always.
If you have vision, like this type of shit excites you, because it's like right now you can say, oh, like what is it like, or like you could ask yourself like, well, it ain't shit, or tell yourself it ain't shit. But if you have vision and what you got is different and special, this type of shit is gonna just excite you because what it can be.
It definitely does. You can see that potential, man.
Yeah,
and
man.
We all have our own things. That's what I really like about the group in general. Like, everyone is doing something, and
Right.
We're all doing it for the growth of the brand, and we're doing it for each other. Like, there's a camaraderie with us, man. We all
Yes,
fuck
sir.
with each other. We all enjoy being around each other.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
we
yeah.
enjoy helping each other do better. So
Yeah.
that's why I fuck with all of y'all, man.
Yeah, nah, man. This shit is the quarantine, it just threw shit back in terms of like being able to move together and do shit,
For sure.
but just a
Shout out to
minor
Zoom.
setback, yeah, everybody just stay healthy, and once we
Right.
able to get active and get outside again, like it's gonna just everybody's gonna be on their shit. So I'm excited, man. But
Me too, man. I can't wait.
yeah, me too. I'm just constantly just thinking, just that is what I do. I just think.
Brainstorming.
Yep.
Yep.
So a couple more questions, man. You're doing great. You know what I'm saying? You're doing great.
Appreciate you, man.
Good.
Doing my best.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But goals as a producer, or engineer or artist, in any capacity, what would your goals be, right now, as of right now?
So my main goal is to at least get one gold plaque. And
That's tough.
I want to build off of that. So my main goal is focusing on at least being a part of a song that goes gold.
Gotcha.
So whatever I got to
True.
do to get to that point, that's the main thing I'm focusing on right now.
True.
So I'm working on just getting my mixes to be more quality, to make them sound a little bit more industry standard, cleaner, a little bit louder, and writing, man. Just trying to, if anyone wants a verse, I can ghostwrite for you too.
You
don't got to come out behind it, but I do that for you too, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, just getting better with the pen game and getting better with my mixing.
Gotcha.
Production wise, I just need to get back into that because I've been so busy with mixing everything. I've been working with a bunch of people from all over the East Coast at the moment, and I need to get back into making beats like I used to. I used to wake up in the morning and make beats. Now I wake up in the morning and I open up Pro Tools and mix some stuff before I go to work, man.
Got you.
Yeah, I need to find some time for that. I got to make time. I'm getting busy, but it's always got to be some time in the day for that.
Nah, man, that's dope. Hey, getting busy is a good problem.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, especially right now, man.
Yeah.
What the exposure from the studio you're at is helping you work with people all over, or like what's the difference now, like in terms of you being able to work with other artists?
Yeah, so word of mouth, man, it's a strong thing. Yep. I'm not gonna lie. People underestimate the power of word of mouth.
Bro, I did. I literally I read a book and I was reading a book on like marketing, and I was trying to figure out, like how to go about it. Cause I feel like sometimes, I said this on my last episode with Tay, I felt like, or I feel like sometimes I'm not social media savvy the way that I need to in order to promote, or so sometimes I'm like, damn, like I would love to hire somebody and just do this shit, because this ain't for me. I could do the cons, I can make all this shit, but in terms of promoting it, like sometimes
I want somebody else to do that for me.
Yeah, it just don't feel natural to me. But so I was reading a book, and they were saying like it was like three top things in order to like promote your business, and word of mouth was one. And I was like, I've definitely underestimated that. I definitely did. And that's why my motto pretty much is tell a friend to tell a friend, because if you could tell somebody to check something out and they check it out and they like it, they tell somebody,
and they tell their friends.
It's just how it
next
just,
thing a wildfire started, man.
Just telephone at that point.
Exactly.
But
so yeah, to the point that I was saying, like, working with people in the studio, hey, what's your Instagram, man? Follow them on Instagram. Boom, they got a friend who mixed this for you. They send them my Instagram. They DM me. Now I'm working with somebody in New York. Now I'm working with somebody in Georgia. Somebody from Richmond. Like, you know, people. Social media has been a blessing and a curse.
And a curse. Yeah.
But if you use it the right way, it can definitely help you grow what you're trying to do. If you got like a home business,
Yeah.
or you're trying to be an entrepreneur, or you got a brand like us that you're trying to start, man. It's a strong tool.
It is.
You gotta use it the right way.
If used properly, yes,
For
sir.
Sure.
I think I might have asked this already, but do you have you named like your idols? Well, I guess this is more so like inspirations, like, you know, anybody that you are inspired by, or maybe want to work with, something like that. And like I said, you might have answered it already. So if you say the same, you know, people, I understand that. But I think that was in different contexts. But in terms of inspiration, you know, or just somebody you aspire to want to work with at one point, you know, who may those people be?
Like inspiration wise, J. Cole and Kendrick, definitely.
Cole, yeah. Kendrick, yeah.
When
TDE,
when Good Kid, TDE,
get at
sure,
us,
man, and Dreamville too, man.
Oh no, yeah, for sure.
But definitely Cole and Kendrick have been like the two main influences musically in my life. When Good Kid, Mad City dropped, man, that was the one that really that made me fall in love with music, bro. Like for real.
I like that answer. You know why? Because that's like I watch a lot of shit, and people will, like, you know, I watch like a lot of interviews. You know, I'm always watching Joe Budden, and you know, just you'll see or you'll hear some of them talk about, man, like when I heard Illmatic, like that's when I just fell in love with music. You know what I mean? And like you saying that about Kendrick's album is like, that's like the modern version of, you know, like that's their Illmatic. It like is our
Good Kid, Mad City is definitely their Illmatic for us. You feel me?
Exactly, bro. And like I would honestly have to probably agree. Not even Section 80. It was Good Kid, Mad City, like, because it was like a fucking book. It was like a story.
Man, it was like a movie, bro.
Yeah, like I was
it was so well done.
It was really well done.
Lyricism,
the skits.
You know, like the engineering, bro. Shout out to Mixed by Ali. That's one of my favorite engineers too.
Oh, Ali, they were just talking about, because Reason just dropped the project. Shout out to Reason.
Shout out to Reason. That shit was hard.
Yeah, that was a very, very, very good project.
Very good. I fuck with that. I still bump that right now, bro. Still in rotation.
Yeah, no. Oh, and shout out to Rhapsody. Oh my fucking God.
She's a beast, bro.
That verse. That was wild. Like she's different. She's different. Beast, man. She would honestly out rap like 95% of the dudes that rap. If we're gonna,
I say 95% of the industry, man.
True. Let me not even do male. Yeah, she would. Yeah,
she would, bro.
But she's holding it down for the ladies, man, for
Shout
sure.
Out to the beautiful queens, man.
Yes, sir. But anyway, Mixed by Ali. Yes, he's really dope.
Goat.
And is he a part of the TDE collective, or is he okay?
Sure. I'm not sure if he's signed to TDE, but he's definitely a part of that collective.
Right. Yeah, nah, man. I mean, just like I would say I would honestly agree with you, and I think TDE, like from there, I've been just infatuated by them. And I was actually a J-Rock fan for like an avid J-Rock fan, even when, because J-Rock was supposed to be the top dog. Well, that was no pun intended, but he was supposed to be the guy, and you know what I mean. Kendrick took off, but like I really always loved J-Rock. Like I'm not gonna say more, but I loved, and now he's starting to get his shine, and I love it. Like his last album, Redemption. Like now I feel like he's getting all his shine, but. Man, shout out to TDE, man.
Eastside Johnny, man. I fuck with J-Rock too.
Shout out to all of them. I love Schoolboy. I just love them all, man. Like they all.
Everybody in TDE is great, bro.
Yeah, they're just goats. Yeah, they're just goats. They move on their own time. Like,
right.
Like
Isaiah Rashad, man, we need the album.
Bro, I will say I'm getting frustrated. I'm getting so frustrated. I'm like, bro, please, like.
I'm waiting, bro. I'm itching for that joke.
I've seen him on a few features lately. I seen him on a Cash Page feature, and he gave us the single. That was actually very fire. I was actually very impressed by that. And then he was on a Reasons project, so I'm like, okay, you know, he's clearly like making music, I would assume. So we
I'm
just.
Sure he's in the studio always, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, come on, bro. Don't you starving us, like. But I'm sure it's gonna be fire. I'm sure it's gonna be fire.
Yeah, bro. I'm not rushing it. Take your time, Isaiah.
Nah, no rush. But you know, like maybe not another 4 years. Like
maybe not. Yeah.
I would like to. I would like to get something before then. I would like to get something before then.
I feel
But
that for sure.
To conclude, you know, the conversation a little bit, or the artist profile portion, is there anything that you're working on? Anything that you want to, you know, let people know about? Anything you want to promote? Anything, you know, you want people to, you know, get into it?
I'm actually working on a project. I don't know if I want to call it a mixtape
Right.
or an EP or album, but I'm just keep calling it a project until I'm done with it. So I got all the songs done. I'm in the final stages of mixing. I want to play it for a couple of people before I release it, get their feedback on it. And yeah, dropping it soon. I don't have a specific release date that I want. It's kind of a go with the flow thing right now.
Right.
But definitely some good vibes.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it.
Make people feel happy, man, and just
yes, sir.
Bring back good feelings.
What's
not be nobody who I'm not.
No, be you, man. That's what makes
sure.
That's what makes our collective who we are, and that's what makes all the greats who they are. Would you say you're trying to drop it by the end of 2020, or you don't even really want to?
Nah, I think I should have it up before the end of 2020.
Okay. Cool.
The very final mixing stages right now, man. And you know, I did it all myself. I made all the beats, all the writing, wrapped it in my room right here.
That's awesome, man.
That's gonna be a special. I made in my room.
Oh, for real?
Yes, sir. That's the name of the album.
Wow.
The project.
The project. Wow, that's dope. That's dope.
Appreciate it.
Hey, man. Well, you know, everybody listening, check my boy out, Big HERCO, on that.
Big HERCO, man.
Yeah, man. Good dude. Well, that concludes the artist profile portion. I'm probably bring up just a question or two. I be, you know, thinking to myself about a couple things, and I just want to, you know, see what my man thinks. How do you feel about the wealthy people or entertainers, let's say wealthy entertainers, partnering with Trump at this time right now? Do you think? I think this is my stance. Wealthy people understand other wealthy people. So you're going to always, like, once you reach a certain, like most people, not everyone, but a lot of people, once they reach to a certain level of wealth, they only start to understand other people that are in that realm of wealth, which is unfortunate, because you came from somewhere, and it more than likely, especially entertainers, more than likely was not, you know, the richest. So I just wanted to know where you stand on that. Recently, we saw the picture with Lil Wayne, and we've seen a lot of entertainers come out and basically say, you know, that they stand by Trump. And, you know, I'm sure his team is targeting entertainers so they can get the black vote. But I wanted to know how you felt about that.
See, I try not to pay that very much mind, because I feel like when they're doing something that is possibly hurting the culture that they come from, like you said, they're not there now, but they definitely came from that.
Right.
I feel like that either they've been paid off to do this, and they're just collecting a check, so it don't really matter to them.
Yep, that's how I feel.
They're just ignorant to what's going on in their past community. Like, I don't think if you get to that point where you're endorsing that man, it just feels like, I don't know, like you've lost touch with where you really came from.
You've lost touch completely.
Yeah, you know, that's not what we represent, and
at all.
It's a whole nother story, man. That's a tough one, especially with Wayne, bro. Wayne.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you know, it hurt. Like, niggas like 50, like, he's a coon. You know, if we're just gonna be honest. You know, this dude just does anything, and we allow it. You know what I'm saying? Like, honestly, I do think sometimes that whole cancel culture, like, we should start looking at some of the people who have earned it. You know what I mean? As opposed to people who may have made a mistake and now it's all in the media, and now you're like, oh, get them out of here. Like, okay, cool. But when you got people like 50 who have been like, I mean,
since the day they
right. Like, don't get me wrong. He's a legend for, you know, don't get me wrong. He is a legend.
I love 50, bro.
I do think that he displays a lot of
coonery.
Yes, he did, and then
he to say it, call it what it is.
Yeah, but I was trying to think of a way, like, to say it so that it makes sense to cancel him. Like, you know what I mean? I don't really mean cancel, but for people to just stop like endorsing, like, oh, like, because I think in our culture, it's like if you get a lot of money, they respect you. But it's like you gotta have so many other things about you for me to respect you. Like, it's not just about
the money,
how much money you have.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of
Not
lame ass
material
niggas with
things
money.
at all.
Like, what? That means nothing. So, you know, that's
Not
just
at
how
all. You can't take it with you.
that's man. But you know, I was just I had that thought. And I was like, let me see where my niggas stand on this.
For sure.
And last but not least, how much of life do you think is luck as opposed to destiny?
Well, I'm gonna say that I don't believe in luck. I feel like people call people lucky, but they're really just prepared for that opportunity when it presents itself. Like people always call someone who is ready at the moment when that presents itself. They call them lucky, but they're just really, they've been prepared. They've been working on it. They've been practicing whatever that thing is that they wanted. They go after it. They practice it, and they keep doing it until that opportunity presents itself. So,
right.
Destiny, I feel like it doesn't really have a meaning because you can change. I feel like you can change your own destiny. Like, depending on what you want to do and what you're driven to do.
Yeah.
If you aim at that and you go and you put your head down and work as hard as you can to get there, you can change whatever your destiny was to that. Just like that, just by working. It may take more time than what you were previously destined for, but if you want to change your life, you can do it. Like, just work at it.
No, I agree. I feel like I always fall on that side of the argument, like where you came from, where it's like I feel like pretty much if something happens for you, you know, it was you've been preparing for this, or you know, that was meant for you, you know, that was just meant to happen for you. But I've also fallen on the other side of the argument where it's like I feel like life could be, I don't even want to say luck, but I think sometimes you could just be in the right spot at the right time, or you know, you might just happen to know the right person to get you the opportunity that you've been looking for. So it don't necessarily mean that's luck, but I don't know if luck's the word for it. Sometimes I think that's what it comes down to.
Chance, I would think is the word.
Right.
And I guess you could say that is close to lucky.
Right. Right.
For real, I would say that's just being blessed.
Right.
You know?
And that's how I look at it. That's how I would say. And that's if you believe in a higher power, though. Some people don't. Exactly. So I guess they didn't chance it up to, I guess they didn't mark it up to luck. But yes, I agree with you. I think a lot of it comes down to just being very blessed and prepared, like you were saying. But
definitely agree.
Yeah, those were my two questions, bro. I just, you know, that I might probably throw that in another episode with another guest, and then we might discuss it, see where they stand on it. But I just, you know, wanted to add a little bit to the artist profile so it wasn't, you know, super formal and shit. You know, this subtle impact, baby. You come on here. You know, if we were in person, we could drink and shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'd be blown.
It's all good though.
This virtual shit is getting to me, man. But you know, I gotta make it work.
Man, stuck in the house all day.
Oh man, boy, oh boy. And it looked like we're gonna be here for a little longer too, honestly, with these cases going up.
Yep. But I think they said we on like a third wave right now. I didn't know we had a second one, but still, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, man. They said something like 90,000 cases like in one day.
100,000 in one day. Oh yeah, they were just talking about that at the barbershop.
We going right back to lockdown. That's where it need to go.
Yeah,
because it's not about
to out, man.
But yeah, people don't care. Yeah, like you said,
it's a weird time.
Weird ass time, dog.
Yeah. Stay prayed up, man.
Yeah, man. But you know what? This has been a great episode. This has been a great conversation per usual. My brother, Big HERCO. This is episode 15.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? Go get his when his project drop. Everybody go show the boy love. Show the brand love. We coming. We got merch. We got a website about to launch. You know, we got content.
Yes, sir.
Come get at us. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'm gonna holla at y'all.
Peace
out, bro.
Baby, I'm on the road. Baby, leave me alone.